I apologize. I'm trying to upgrade. Thank you again, David. Part 2.
All right, thank you. So we're looking at what 500 gives us, because 500 is the most bare minimum in NHIF. So we've seen the aspect of outpatient, and we've agreed that we have to choose outpatient for our parents back at home, blah blah, and for our house managers, the guys that work for us back at home. Number 2, we have dug into the aspect of inpatient, and we've agreed that inpatient you don't choose. Inpatient, you can walk in hospital A, you can walk into hospital B. The other time that services cannot be found maybe in Bagathi, and so you have to walk to Kenyatta and you find the services. All right. And we have also explained the aspect of 3 levels of how NHF classifies their hospitals. And we've seen category A hospitals are all government facilities. And NHIF here pays the bill 100%. Then we have the category B, which are the mission facilities, like Tenuek. If you are in Meru, there is Kirwa, there's Chogorwa. If you're in the other side, there's Kijabe, there's Tenuek. I don't know most of them. There's one I'm looking for in Nairobi. The name is, I'm losing the name. So those are mission hospitals. Then we have medium private. So medium private are just owned businesses. Somebody has just decided to invest in facilities in an hospital, but it's medium. Medium means he wants to serve the community. He's not defined his target like the high-ended. Then we have category C, which is the high-ended, where the MP Shah Avenue, Guru Nanak, all those. The high-ended facilities that are the Nairobi hospitals and all that. Even, guys, there are some small facilities you might consider small, but when you come to NHIF, they are seen in the system as category C. So again, it is the owner that comes and says, in fact, we give them a choice. Can you make a choice? Do you want to serve B or do you want to serve C? Like an Oasis Hospital is a household name. So Oasis Hospital, if you go to Kisii, it is category C. If you go to another place, it might be category B. So it is their definition. It is the target market. It is their business. Then number 3, we have the surgical package. So we've seen outpatient, inpatient. Number 3 is the surgical package. So in the surgical package, NHF defines surgery into 3. We have the minor surgery, the major surgery, and the specialized surgery. So in the minor surgery, the highest amount, depending on the level of facility again, we pay is 30,000. So there, the definition is the type of surgery and the level of facility you are going to. You know very well that if you have a fracture today, you are on a border and something happened to your leg. If you go to Aga Khan, for example, the bill might go to 250. The same fracture that is in your hand, if you go to that level 6, Kenyatta, a provincial hospital, allow me to use that because it clicks in quickly. A provincial hospital, a level 5, 6 hospital that is closer to you, the bill will not hit 80,000. That is the truth. So NHF says for minor surgeries, depending on which facility you are going to, we're going to give not more than 30,000. So the bill can be between 2,000 to 30. Then we have the major surgeries that crosses from 60,000 to 130, depending on hospital category, because you cannot pay 80,000 to a facility and its level is demanding 130 in terms of amount. So the level of facility is very important. Which level did you go to? Did you go to level 4? Did you go to level 5? Or did you go to level 6? So what we pay Kenyatta or what we pay Moi referral is not the same as what we pay a district for hospital. It might be the same procedure, same service, but the level of hospital demands that you increase. Because that's a referral hospital. In Eldoret, we have a referral hospital, but this other one is a level 3 or a level 4. It's not a referral facility. So that also is how costing comes in. Then the third member for surgeries are the specialized. So in specialized surgeries, we have, are they three? We have the brain, we have the kidney transplant, and then there are just major surgeries. The doctors in the house know I'm not a doctor. So if it's been said specialized, like I'm looking for a hip replacement, that mostly they charge between 400 to something. That's from our side, it's almost specialized because it's a lot goes into it. So for the specialized surgeries, we pay between 300 to 500, depending on per case and depending on which hospital again. So because I've mentioned kidney transplant, let me come to the next package. I'm done with surgeries. So I'm going to kidney issues. So before we go to kidney issues, kidney failures and renal dialysis. So dialysis, NHF pays twice a week. That one cuts across all the hospitals, whether you are in category A, B, or C, whether you are in Aga Khan or you are in Russia, in Kisumu, or you are in a private facility somewhere, which is just how do we call it, a standalone that only deals with renal issues, the renal dialysis issues. We pay a standard for everybody else because this is a kind of service that is not just found in all the hospitals. So for accessibility purposes, if a particular hospital has it, then we go ahead, we accredit, and we allow everybody to walk in. Now, the problem comes in here. You might find a particular facility. Let's say now, I'm going to mention names. For example, Aga Khan, and I'm going to use MRI. NHF pays MRI 15,000. Across the board, irrespective of where you do it. Now, Kitambo, because other places, MRI used to be done at 10,000, right? So immediately NHF capped it at 15,000 for MRI. Aga Khan shot it to 25,000. So why did they shoot it? Because of their market segmentation. Market segmentation. They're saying we want to serve the high-ended. That is their business. But NHF is saying we are giving you 15,000. So if you want to do an MRI, there are facilities that you can serve you 100% without pay. But if you fail, but it's Aga Khan where you fit in, then Aga Khan is saying you will have to top up with 10,000. But NHIF pays everybody else in matters of MRI at 15,000. Back to dialysis. So dialysis we do twice a week. Dialysis we do twice a week at 9,500. So 9,500. So you find some cases where a doctor prefers that the sessions be carried out 3 times in a week. But NHF is saying, for now, based on sustainability of what we are paying, the 500, then we cannot manage to do 3 sessions. So if the doctor requires the 3rd session, then you'll go deep into your pocket to pay that. So it is done at 9,500 per month. Now, if the kidney failure happens, then comes in the matter of kidney transplant. And NHIF does the kidney transplant, and we will give you 500,000, $500,000 for the kidney transplant. It can go between 430, it can go between 400 to 500. It doesn't exist there. Please understand that I'm speaking about the person, the 500 person. If it is a person under the managed scheme, the business changes because the managed scheme person has a cover maybe around, say, of 2.5 million. So if he has a cover of 2.5 million with NHIF, then if the kidney transplant even goes up to 1 million, we hit on the account of 2.5 M, we take in the 1 million, we pay the bill, and we remain with 1.5. So that is why I had to explain the different schemes that we have. But this one, I'm specifically explaining for the person of doing 500 per month, the Mamamboga. So for the Mamamboga, because at the end of the day, it's the year is 6,000, I think if we can do outpatient, inpatient, in case of surgery, it is done. In case of MRI at 15,000, it is done. Because I will tell you the next package I'm going in is the oncology package, which is cancer treatment. There are instances that we have to do either CT scan or an MRI to see the level of spread, the in-depth of which that animal has eaten the body of the patient. So we all agree that 6,000 fairly, NHF is, everybody should be asking, how are you guys managing to keep with the cost of medication going up every day? How are you still guys managing at 6,000 the whole year? So we are done with dialysis. We are done with kidney transplant. And kidney transplant, if it is not done within our borders, Kenya, NHF pays for you outside the country treatment. And that the doctor has to convince us that it cannot be done within the borders of Kenya. Then, if that is the case, then we will take you for overseas treatment. In overseas treatment, you will live here after we've done the donor test. NHF pays for 2 donor tests for kidney transplant. We will pay for the first one, we'll pay for the second one. If it misses, then the third one you will pay. That is what is in the policy. So after paying, we used to pay for air ticket and accommodation for the 2 of you as you move. The policy might change on that, but let's wait and see. But for overseas treatment, we used to pay for the donor, we used to pay for the accommodations, we used to pay for the air tickets, and we used to pay for the bill in India. Unfortunately, in this matter, it is NHIF who chooses the hospital you go to the other side. Not really chooses. We've already, the process of accreditation is done, and so it's a specific facility, maybe in India or wherever, that you'll be flown to, and the services will be taken care of. So you don't, you might be given 2-3 facilities to pick from. Now let's go to the oncology package, which is the cancer treatment. So cancer, we have the chemo and the radio. Because I didn't prepare, like I said from the beginning, that I didn't prepare any slide, I didn't prepare any writing. What I want to record on cancer treatment is it is 100% done by NHIF. Chemo and radio is 100% covered. And it is expensive, but NHIF is paying it irrespective of which level of facility that you walk into. Another package is which one? Rehabilitation package, rehabs. NHIF sent people to rehabs for 3 months. Where I come from, the Nyanza Western region, we only have 1 rehab. That is Asumbi. I think Asumbi is in Homa Bay somewhere. So it is the only one that is serving the whole Western Nyanza region. So NHIF sends you there, pays for the bill. You cannot come out until 3 months elapse. So we work with government facilities in terms of rehabs. We don't, the private ones, you only go if you are under the comprehensive cover, because it is your money, you can see it and all that. Which other one am I forgetting? So we have mentioned outpatient, inpatient, cancer treatment, which is oncology package. We have done, surgical package, and surgical package always comes with CT scan, which NHIF pays at 8,000, and MRI, which NHIF pays at 15,000. Those 2, they are being reviewed right now by our actuarial department, together with the guys that handle our those packages. So it's being reviewed because we have done a little bit study, and we are seeing Kitambo, just for example, Kitambo, there are places you will do CT scan at 5,000. But NHIF just came from nowhere, and we said we're doing CT scan at a flat rate of 8,000. But every doctor will tell you there are different types of CT scans. There are the ones of the brain, there's the one of the back, and they cost differently. But now we are reviewing the everything else, and the packages will be back again to us. It will be adjusted, I know, for matters of sustainability. There is a question that I must answer before it is asked. and that is on chronic illness package. The chronic illness package didn't see the light of the day. That is diabetes and diabetes and high blood pressure. Now they are treated under outpatient. Unfortunately for the people under national scheme, they cannot get the right drugs for them. We all know those drugs are kind of expensive, but this is what happened. When our department was doing studies on how to do the costing for this particular ailment, the hospitals ran ahead and we could not do anything because the guys were just, it was not realistic, the kind of costing that we were being given by the facilities. So we placed it on hold so that at least we can accumulate more kidogo before we see how to do the claims payment as regards the same. So for chronic illness disease, for the guys that are under managed scheme and comprehensive cover, they are sorted, there's no problem. But the guys under national scheme, most of them gets admitted at times. Because when they go for outpatient, the drugs has Hitoshi for outpatient. That is the truth. And I know it, right? So kindly, that is for today. I don't know if there are questions that are hanging. I will be glad to respond from that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David. We've learned a lot. And guys, you can show your video if you feel free. Don't be shy. And one at a time, go ahead and ask your questions. I believe there was one question: does NHIF pay for liver transplant in India, and what amount?
In the package, I am aware of the kidney transplant.
Okay.
The kidney transplant, yes, it is paid. Yes. And I've explained, if you remember, the overseas treatment and all that.
Right.
So it is, the kidney treatment is covered. Kidney,
okay.
liver.
You're not certain, or you're not sure,
yeah.
or it doesn't?
No. It is not.
It's not covered.
It's not,
okay.
There's no such package.
Okay. And then somebody says, Edwin has really tried explaining well a lot about NHIF, but there are some hidden factors that NHIF has not put clear across the board. That wasn't a question. Another one: what of dental and eye care and a national scheme?
Dental, there are around 6 packages that are being offered to the guys under comprehensive and managed scheme that the other guys under national scheme doesn't get.
Okay.
And we have agreed that because these guys pumped in their medical allowance plus their statutory deduction, they earn the right to be given what they have negotiated for. They always come on the table, they negotiate. The last time we negotiated with the teachers, we were ready, NHF was ready to cover for them 2 spouses. 2. But again, they still rent to well, and we know why. For us, we know why. So for his question, the question is saying,
so does the NHIF cover dental and eye care? I suppose that's what they mean. So what of dental and eye care and the national scheme? So the dental and eye care, does it cover?
Yes, it does, but it is limited.
Okay.
For dental, it is only limited to tooth extraction.
Okay.
That is well defined even in the hospital contracts. But for eye care, if you go, for example, to Sabatia Eye Hospital for the treatment for the national guys, we don't pay, but we pay for the surgery. For eye surgery, it is 100% paid.
Okay, and is there specific hospitals that somebody needs to go for this? Or you can go, you walk into any for the eye surgery and for the dental?
For the eye surgeries, the whole Western Nyanza region, we have one person, okay, one facilities, and that is Sabatia Eye Hospital. They are specialized, the ophthalmologists will be found. I'm not sure if the provincial hospital, that is Russia, is doing it within. I'm not sure, but I think because it's a national, it's a county hospital, they might have an ophthalmologist. To the extent of having a surgical person that deals with eye issues, I cannot confirm, but okay, I will tell you they are well served by Sabatia Eye Hospital in the region, and the NHIF pays for their surgeries 100%. But on matters outpatient as regards the eye and the tooth, then you are supposed to go to your outpatient facility. And that is when I answered it is limited because your outpatient facility might not even have a doctor that deals with matters of dental or eye care. So that is where the limitation is coming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Just to follow up on that, is there any way of somebody to know the hospitals or the facilities that are covered? Because is there like a database that somebody can go and say, hey, I want to get my eye done, or I want to get the kidney transplant, or I want to get this? Is there a database that somebody can go and check, or is there somewhere that somebody can call? Because all these warriors here are in different locations. So is there somewhere specific that you can go and check and confirm, say like you're giving us example of the high-end hospitals and the city hospitals. So if I want to do a procedure, any procedure, is there a way I can look, hey, is this covered under NHIF and how much? And if I go to Aga Khan, is this covered here and how much?
Okay, thank you. One, the hospitals we are working with are all listed in our website. Okay. That's number one. Number two, there's a toll-free number that is available. It doesn't charge. The station works 24/7. Even if you call now, I think somebody will pick. And then number three, you can always walk to your nearest NHIF branch for a one-on-one question with your person.
Okay, thank you so much. All right.
Okay.
There's another one question. Say, the question is, what of when one goes for surgery? Any government hospital, one has to pay 1 year ahead. One has to pay. So I guess they're asking, does somebody have to pay a year ahead?
I have understood.
Okay.
I have understood.
Thank you.
It is true. For example, you come in NHIF today. Let's say you joined in July. So when you joined in July, you paid for 3 months, 1,500 in your card. And then by October, July, August, by September 3rd, 4th, your card is already active. You can use it to get all the services that I have explained, right? But now you have only paid how much? 3,000, which is 6 months. The service you need is how much? 130,000. They don't relate. You can't compare. So what is the NHIF saying? We are just saying, because we want you still to be with us. Hatutaki wewe ukuje, uget services after paying 2 months, alafu upotee uende. No. We are just helping you by saying, we want you to know that insurance is part and parcel of our life. So can you show your commitment by paying 1 year ahead that this service, you still enjoy it and you still need it? There is nothing else I can explain more than that. And I think it makes sense.
Thank you, Diana. I hope you've been answered. One more here. Does NHIF cover heart surgeries such as pacemaker and implants?
I might not go to the details of heart surgeries because I'm limited in terms of my profession.
Okay.
But heart surgeries are done, and we do it in partnership with HeartRun. So it's done annually. I think I don't want to go more than that. Okay. It is done, yes, in partnership with, we can get a sponsor who will come and say, we sponsoring blah, blah, and all this. We will, we do, it is done. It is done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Those are the questions that I have on the Zoom. If anyone has another question for David before he leaves, please go ahead and unmute, but one at a time, please. I think KP, you wanted to ask a question? You can go ahead and unmute. Unmute, you're muted. Okay.
Now, can you get me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, David, for a lot of insights and enlightenment on like what NHIF covers and how it goes about it. But I've got like 2 questions and maybe one compliment or something. One, I think most of the things you have tried to explain, not all the public who have NHIF card are aware about it. And I do believe a lot of people also are not aware that even NHIF is supposed to cover for ambulance services, etc. But I wonder, why don't you make it public about all those services that cut across maybe the hospitals? NHIF will cater for this. If this one exceeds, then you have to top up. Those things most people are not aware. Secondly, I've noticed, and I think we cannot deny that when you go to a facility and they ask you like, how are you paying, cash or card? You say card. Then they'll ask you, which one? You'll say NHIF. Then they'll ask you self-employed or civil servant. Now, I've realized this with when I took, my sister took my mom to the hospital in the company of her at Bondo Medical. Now they asked my mom, like, you're using which card? And then my mom said, like, she's using NHIF self-employed. But the medication she was given for malaria, it was just Lonart and some other drugs. But when my sister goes there to use her card to get my mom's medication, she'll be given slightly advanced medication. So we can't deny this. That's the first question you ask at the facility, like, is it self-employed or civil servant? Why the caste system? Like, it's like kuna kubaguliwa. And then also, I also wanted to ask another thing.
Hold on,
Like,
KP. Can he answer that question first, and then you can ask the next one?
Thank you, Chair. Now, you see, I've not explained anything in terms of comprehensive cover, but my KP, it is a very lucrative cover. It is lucrative in the sense that if that doctor can only see even 10 patients that are only comprehensive, he can just go home and sleep. He's made it. I'm answering you slowly, right? Now, I'm telling you, you see, the national scheme for outpatient is limited. So if it's limited, the guy knows very well that he was already paid in advance. He has the money. And he wants to keep that money as much as possible. Right? So even if you don't know you are right, sometimes they will even not give you the services. So in terms of national scheme, choose. Just agree with yourself. There are some facilities, like the one is mentioned. I know the owner, I know that facility, and I know how it works. And the owner will not even hesitate to chase you. That you can go and chase your facility, choose another one, leave us alone, and blah blah and everything else. He can confirm. So what happens? What I say is, national scheme is limited. You cannot compare national scheme with a comprehensive scheme, because maybe the other one for your sister has an outpatient cover of 200,000. So this other one for national scheme, haina, but the other one, the doctor anaona iko na limit ya 200,000. Na huyu mtu alikuja for chronic illness package. Na akihit, it will, for day, when he gives out the drugs, it will be 4,000. Plus the doctor's fee will be 5,000. But on this, for the national scheme, those calculations are not there unless it is an inpatient case. So, sikubaguliwa, it's
so the type of package you have.
It's the kind of package you have, and the hospital you have mentioned has two facilities. One in the center of town, na ingine iko mwisho kidogo. But they don't know how to separate the two. I've tried helping them to separate the two so that the other one serves the community, the national scheme, and the other one serves the corporates. Allow me to use those two words. The other one serves the community, and the other one serves the corporates. The corporates here are where comprehensive cover is, where resolution guys are, where Britain people are. It's the same. But NHIF is coming out to be superior, even kushinda hizo zingine.
Thank you so much.
Your first question was what? I've answered your second question.
See, I even forgot your first question, KP. One at a time. Go on.
Well, my first question was like, why have they haven't enlightened the people? Because more people have got NHIF cover than other insurance companies.
The level of awareness.
And awareness of what the card can do, what it cannot do, it can cover this and this. Most people don't know.
The level of awareness can only improve if we do such. The level of awareness can only improve if we also allow our churches where we go to give 10 minutes airtime for people like us and not to politicians only. The level of awareness can only be created by you. So if you're looking, we will tell you, can you go to our Facebook page? Even if you click in right now, there's a post that we did regarding a particular package. But how many of us even know that there is a Facebook page for NHIF? How often do we visit? Right? So the level of awareness is this one we are doing, is at your church, is those men's group that we sit in, is at those women's group that we sit in. Right? hizo michango zenye tunafanya za kupeleka watu hospitali, let's turn those michango into NHIF forums and tell people we cannot changa you for, we can only changa for you after we know you have NHIF and the bill was $500,000 and NHIF has paid 250 and we now changaring 250. Those are now the conversations we are supposed to have.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
You have one more question, KP?
Yeah, just I just wanted to inquire, like I was supposed to do some MRI last year in June. I had some condition, some brain nerve condition. But then in Kisumu, you'll find it's only Agahan and Western Kenya Imagery at Mega City that does the MRI. Now, are there any other facilities? You said like NHIF like can cut up to around 15K, but no, Agahan goes up to around 20.
25.
Yeah, like 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very expensive. So is that limiting people who can afford that amount? Because if I have an NHIF card and I don't have some more cash to top up, then I won't be able to do like MRI like in Kisumu. So are there any facilities being identified, or how can that one be helped for people who don't have cash but they already paid up for the NHIF?
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Now, for MRI and CT scan, one, we are downsizing that service. Like right now, you cannot get that service unless you are a cancer person. That's number one. Unless you are a cancer person, because the doctors have abused it. We realized that it was being abused, and we had to do something for the sake of sustainability. So right now, it is only cancer patients that are given MRI and CT scan. Two, NHIF, our work is to accredit. There is no any other facility in Western Nyanza region that I know that has MRI, and we have not accredited. So when Aga Khan is charging 25, they are just saying our market segmentation. Hatutaki watu kukuja, allow me to use the bad words. Hatutaki watu wengi kukuja kuchafua hapa. So we have to push in the cost, iende juu, so that we keep our market segment straight to us. If you go to West Kenya, they charge 15,000 and they don't add. If you go to Aga Khan, they charge 25,000. And NHIF will pay 15 and you'll pay the balance. But NHIF will tell you, sikuna West Kenya. Mbona hukuenda West Kenya? Because it's charging 15,000. So we are all in the market. Tumeweka nyanya zetu kwa floor. Ukiona zangu zina meta, unakuja kwangu. Ukiona zangu 3, 10 na bado haikupendezi, you go to the person doing 2, 2, 10. So it's market, and we have to allow market to play the competitive advantage. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, KP, for your questions. Think about anyone else who has a question while David is here. So while you're thinking, I do have a question, follow-up questions from what you've answered. First of all, if you could, I think I have your number, but you have Mickey's number. If you could just text him the website again and the phone number for NHIF and the Facebook page, so we can share it with the group here. So if you can text him when you have time, and then we have the group on WhatsApp, Mickey will be able to post it so that everyone can have it and they can have access. Again, these are the things you said. People can be able to call the number and they can find out the hospital that they need to go to. They can go into the website, and you just said you can get frequent updates on Facebook for whatever it is they are posting. And if you want to ask a question, you have the direct link up there on Facebook if you have one. Okay, thank you so much. The other question I had, you said, I'd written it down. If you come in as a group, how much do you pay? So you come in as an individual, you pay 500 shillings every month. Now, when you come as a group, because there's something we can discuss as Sclad as well, if there's those advantages that you've mentioned, we can, so is anybody, like now we are Sclad people, can we all come in as Sclad and join as a group? That's question one. Question two, how much is it that we are going to pay? Is it going to be one payment as a group, or is it going to be still individual payment, but within the same scheme?
Okay. Thank you. The website is shared. Our website is rich. There is the self-care part of it. If you want to change facility, you can even register online without coming to the office. It's all on the website. That's self-care part of it. For employers that are here who always file returns, it is right on the website. And then I've also shared, that website has the toll-free number. It is right there, 07 something, 0800 something. Then I've also shared the Facebook account. You can just click on it and like the page directly.
Thank you.
On question 2, as regards joining in as a group, let me start from the unknown. The retirees, let me start from the unknown. The retirees that are here that were in the government before, there's a package that was negotiated for you so that you continue your life the way you used to enjoy the comprehensive cover when you are in government. You can still continue with that package even when you are outside, but as a retiree. So there are contacts also that if you want a comprehensive cover under retirees, blah, blah, and all that, it is available. The MPs are there, blah, blah. Everybody that has retired in Kenya, they are there. And again, we give you which package you want to pick. Say you want an outpatient for 500,000, we will tell you maybe to pay 30,000. Right. You want an inpatient for 2.5 million, we will tell you to pay this much. The actual guys have done it and it is available. On your questions of joining as a group, if you guys are knit together because you're coming from all over the country, if you're knit together, then it can work. I fear because what happens if you guys are not knit together is that a section of you, say if you are 100 people, a section of you, maybe 5 or 6, might delay the whole group. So it's reached 8th, the money has not hit maybe the treasury account, so we cannot pay for everybody on 9th. So that means we will pay for 106 less for that particular month. And so what happens? What happens is that the other person comes back to the national scheme where they used to pay 500. But your main question is there, in terms of amount, is there any difference? The answer is no. The amount is 500, but the advantage is we handle your case as a group. So assume like in Meru, where I used to, my first station in Meru, they have very good cooperatives. Very good cooperatives. So those tea farmers, mira farmers, coffee farmers, and everything, they are into cooperatives. That is where they get their pay. So it reached a point where the next thing, the mandatory thing was, come away when a member, NHF is a must. So they would bring in over like 500 people. So NHF gave them an incentive. If you bring more than 500 people, we will do for you a check at this percentage back to your coffers. Oh. So we were not just taking 500 na tunaenda. No, we were also giving them an incentive and telling their members, we've also done for you a check of this much, and you guys can give your people bonus. Nice. So for you as a group, if you know you are tight and if you know you move in as a team, then you can consider joining as a group. Okay. But if that is not the scenario, then let every man be for himself. Let God be for us all.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hi, just 1 second. Sorry to take you back, David, and thank you for the information you're sharing. I just lost you at that point where you were talking about retired civil servants. What is available? I lost you for like about 30 seconds. So maybe you can kindly repeat.
For all the civil servants, except teachers. Except teachers. Because teachers are under our hand. We don't manage their accounts, right? So for you are in the Ministry of Lands, you are working in the Treasury, blah, blah. You are maybe in Kisumu County, Kakamega County, where NHF is the one who pays their comprehensive cover. When you retire, NHF gives you an opportunity to continue with that life that you had, of walking into Aga Khan, of walking into Avenue. Only the only difference is now you will feel the pinch of pulling that money from your pocket and investing for your health. unlike the previous ones where the employer would do it without you knowing by pulling out of your payslip in terms of your medical allowance, blah, blah, and all that, and put it for you. In this scenario, you have to pull it all by yourself. So it will be, which package do you want? Do you want a package for 30,000? Do you want a package for 60? Do you want a package for 100,000? So that package for 30,000 will give you maybe an outpatient of 100,000 and an inpatient of 500,000, right? Then another one might give you an inpatient of 1 million and an outpatient of 200,000. So it depends with what you are ready to part with. That is what will define your account. That is being managed by the Kenya retirees. They have an office, wamepewa. The office is complete with a treasurer, chairperson, and everything else. So it's only the contacts that we give you. You initiate everything with them, and then the rest now they will bring to NHIF, and we close the deal.
Thank you.
Is it
Thank
clear?
What's the name of the organization?
The name of the organization?
Yes.
It's called Kenya Retirees.
All right. Thank you.
Let me check.
Okay. Thank you, Evelyn. Was that you? Thank you so much, guys. There's one question here.
Question.
Okay. Go ahead and ask.
Yeah. So what is available for chronic illness? You've mentioned about diabetes and high blood pressure. Is there anything available for lupus patients or autoimmune condition patients? And is there anything in the works if there's nothing available for us?
I'm sorry, you used medical terms and you lost me.
Autoimmune conditions are lupus, forgive me, the S word, I can't pronounce
Scleroderma.
it, but yeah, scleroderma, they're different ones. So for those patients, is there anything, all those are chronic illnesses. So is there anything available for those patients? Because my experience has been the medicines that we take are not available on NHIF. So even if you have the NHIF card, there's nothing much that you're able to do other than if you're admitted. And our medication and treatment is mainly outpatient.
Wow, thank you. We can look. I can only advise, and we can look for remedies. If it's not available in outpatient, is it available when you're admitted?
I think I would want maybe someone to answer in regards, because I've used a different cover when admitted, but I think it is available and admitted, but someone can advise. But I've also understood what you told us about the different levels of hospitals. So that I believe plays a part. But maybe someone who can advise who has been admitted with NHIF only, was it able to cover medicine? The only issue is that for most autoimmune condition, most of the time, the medication that we take is through outpatient. So more often than not, you will not be admitted. You'll be admitted once in a while, unless you have extreme chronic conditions whereby you'll be admitted more often. But majority of us are on outpatient, so you just need daily medication.
Okay, I get the case and I get the scenario, and that's a special case because my answer would have been NHIF Ibagui. When it comes to the kind of the nature of sickness, we just say it's admission or it's outpatient. Now we never go into selective, what there is a word there. We don't go into that the selective of saying this one was corona, now we cannot treat corona, blah blah and all that. So it might only that it cannot suffice serve you under outpatient. And that is why I asked, what if you are admitted? And I knew, yes, if you're admitted, you will get medication, you will get to be served if it is a government facility.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to the next person, somebody was asking, let me see. Yeah, back to Shyness. Please, was admitted. So the person was admitted in Kenyatta Hospital, pregnant, but I happened to pay everything. Scan I went through. Is that okay? Probably I was late to answer. Okay, so they paid for all the scans. So is that how it's supposed to be? She was pregnant that was admitted in Kenyatta. And the scans,
Wow.
you're talking about the ultrasound scans, yeah, Diana? I think so. So, okay, yes, that's the one I can see on video. So she had to pay everything, all her scans. So is the scans covered? So that's the question, really, if you're pregnant.
Which scan?
This the ultrasound scan, you know, the one you look at the baby. So ultrasound.
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
It should be covered at Kenyatta
Mm-hmm.
if your outpatient is Kenyatta. So automatically, because your outpatient is in Kenyatta, they're supposed to cover you. But if your outpatient is in Mbagathi and you are going for an ultrasound in Kenyatta, because an ultrasound is an outpatient business.
Okay.
So if you go the other side, they will charge you. But again, currently, as things stand, Kenyatta, all the referral hospitals, we are not giving them outpatient package. So people are not allowed to choose them because they are the last resort. They are not your primary healthcare provider. Your primary healthcare provider can be Mbangathi, can be the other people, blah, blah, and all that. But now when it comes, they are only going to remain as referral hospitals, period. So you're not allowed to choose them. But previously, as things stood, is they will ask you, are you here? But again, the best thing is Kenyatta, there's an NHF office right inside Kenyatta. Complete with a manager and everything. There's an office right inside Kenyatta. So in case of anything, you can always pop in and ask, blah, blah, and all that. But again, Kenyatta, the way it has an HIF, it has the best cartels in the country, right inside.
So if I want a kidney, that's where I go. That's where I can find a kidney,
it's
right?
right there.
Oh
it's
my
right
goodness.
There.
So I think, Diana, I think the thing is maybe your outpatient is not or was not Kenyatta at that point. And then that's why maybe you are being charged for all the scans. So guys, you have to remember who your outpatient is, and remember for those you wanted to be covered, remember which one it is you've registered with and make sure you go there. Now, question to you, David. How often can you change? So I've registered with, say, Kenyatta. Let's use that as now. I've registered with the Kenyatta, and then I feel like if I go to Mbagathi, they're going to take care of my problem. Can I just switch it, or am I supposed to stay with Kenyatta for 3 months, for 1 year? How long do I need to be registered in one outpatient before I can move? So how often can I move?
Thank you. Maybe you've just forgotten, but we had handled the matter. We said we can change every quarter.
So sorry. Yes, you did.
But it's okay. It's okay. So and I mentioned that the quarter is just ending. All of us know how Kenyans do their quarter: January to March, April to May, April, May, June, then July to September, then October to December. So like right now, the third quarter is ending. By end of September, the third quarter is ending. So any changes now will be reflected in 1st of October. Whether you did it on July or August, or you are doing it tomorrow, they will all show in 1st of October. So that when we are running the system around 10th and we are ready to pay, now when we run the system, we will find you in Mbagathi and not in Kenyatta.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. There's another question.
And the code for changing I've shared.
Yeah.
Is *155# and you pick option number 3.
Okay, option 3.
Yeah.
All right. The challenge with our medication is not available in most hospitals. We need to challenge accredible facilities to stock medication. So what is the question, Julie? Okay.
I have got the question.
Okay.
I have got the question. The question is, they have special needs.
Okay.
But with the special needs, they feel the medicines they're supposed to use are not stocked. Are not stocked, so they don't get medicine maybe in time, or they have to be imported, so it takes a lot of time, blah blah and all that. Now this one, is a gap in terms of people that want to do investments. It's not a gap on the side of NHIF. You see, NHIF responsibility is just to register, pay claims, collect revenue. 3, we are done. To register you, make sure when you get sick, the claim is paid to the facility and your revenue is collected and managed prudently. When I'm not even allowed to associate with the facility as David, that will be conflict of interest and I will go home tomorrow. So if there is a gap in the market in terms of MRI is not in Bondo, CT scan is not in Vihiga, it is the responsibility of the government of the day, the private investors, to bridge the gap. We, NHIF, we just come in to accredit, and voila, the work continues.
Thank you so much. There's one more question here in the group chat. I was inpatient at Medihill. NHIF paid 1.2 million. That is in 2018. Recently, I wanted to do some tests as an outpatient. I was told to be admitted first. So question mark, question mark. So I guess the question is, you get it, David?
I've checked for that question in the chat.
No.
I've not seen that.
It is. Let me post it. It is in the WhatsApp group chat. But let me go ahead and send it here. Here we go.
NHIF paid 1.2.
Mm-hmm. So now they want to do some tests, but I guess you said when somebody is in hospital admitted, there's certain privileges that they would get than being an outpatient. Is that correct? So the advice may be not advice, but you can figure that out yourself. Do you want to be admitted to get all this for NHIF cover? I won't say free, or NHIF cover, or do you want to just go outside and get paid for it? So it's your decision.
1, Medihill is category C.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is a high cost hospital.
Mm-hmm.
2, Medihill will not do for you outpatient services if you're under national scheme. It's the same. Aga Khan will not, even if you go with your card right now and walk in there and you work with, you pay 500, they will not serve you unless you have cash. Good. It was under comprehensive cover. You see, it's coming out clearly. So under comprehensive cover, then they did. I don't know whether to say this here or not. I do consultancy for these ones, and I tell them like this one. If I'm the marketing manager, if this, I would fire this marketing manager. Allow me to explain. If you have a comprehensive cover and you are in Medihill, you see, for example, her cover is to 2.5 million because I can see NHIF paid 1.2 M. We don't know the details of the case. We don't want to know it today. She will share when she wants. But NHIF paid 1.2. Now, this person went a second time, maybe for the same service or other services or more. Then the hospital said, we can only do this when we admit you. That means they had seen that the patient had a comprehensive cover, and it was an opportunity for them to milk, to also enrich themselves. So as a person, as much as you're also looking for the best, you also need to know that when you are admitted, you are at the mercy of that particular hospital. Maybe it was towards the end of financial year, like we are getting, when we get towards the end of mwezi wa sita, tano sita, kila mtu anataka mwenye ako na comprehensive cover anataka kwenda hospitali na maliza hiyo 2 million. And so we've seen a lot of things during this process. So maybe the person felt, this one can be sorted under outpatient. But the hospital felt, we are seeing there's a lot in this card that maybe have not been used. Maybe. So the best thing, why can't we also get a chunk of maybe 400,000 out of this? Let's convince the person to be admitted.
All right, thank you so much for that answer. I don't know if this is another question, like there are facilities, okay, is a comment, I guess, like there's facilities. Yeah, if admitted, you will benefit more. When I have many tests to be done, I prefer admission plus I'll be able to get more drugs. The outpatient covers currently has capped maximum cost for meds. Thank you so much, Julie.
True, true.
Actually, before we carry on, I'd like to acknowledge and applaud Julie for getting us this guest, David. So it was Julie that organized this meeting with David. So we appreciate you, Julie, for giving us the opportunity to talk to this big brain man, you know, giving us all this information. So Julie, thank you again. I just wanted to acknowledge you on that. Any other person for a question? Yes, go on, David.
As we're waiting for a question, let me say, you would have not found me on a weekend, but the respect, Julie is my mother.
Oh.
And so anything she says is a yes. I don't know how to say it for her. But it's not easy to find me on a Saturday.
Bless you.
More
Thank you.
particularly at that time. So when Mama called, I didn't have an answer. In fact, I don't have an answer for her.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Julie. And like you say, David, earlier, how is it that people can know about this? Is awareness. Similarly, with lupus, people don't know about lupus, and what we are doing is just spreading awareness. And you being here, most of these warriors are understanding, and the other ones, these are just a few that have just joined. We have over 300 warriors in our group, and all of them will get to share and listen to your word. And one day, hopefully, we can be able to have the same conversation again on social media, and we share it so that people can get enlightened to all this facility, all this information, all this good stuff, so that they can be able to share with their families. Anyone else with a question?
David, can you get me?
Yes,
yeah,
we hear you.
Clear.
I like the talk and about the enlightenment and the things you brought forward. They're very good, but we also understand there's a lady who asked something like you have not touched on. I think maybe you answered it, but I didn't get it well. First, she asked about like, are there plans for you people to cater like with your covers for the autoimmune people? And as you're going to answer that, I also like to put in line with what I wanted to ask is like, currently I know you guys are undergoing a lot of restructuring. And today, earlier in the media, we saw like there's something in regards to dialysis, like people want to reduce the covers or anything. So the restructuring you people are going through, I know you, with your brains and the way you've explained things, I think you're part of the team doing the restructuring. What are we going to expect like for the people like with autoimmune diseases or chronic diseases in regards to the cover? Then secondly, also, are the restructuring going to like make us smile, like we are really going to have help, or it's going to like press us because already the government is pressing us with taxes, a lot of taxes? Are you guys also going to continue to press us, or you're going to make us smile because you guys are undergoing a lot of restructuring currently?
We are on the road of UHC, the Universal Health Coverage, and NHIF is the umbrella to drive the whole process to help His Excellency, the President, to achieve this. Number two, there were some medium-term strategies that we put in place to make sure that UHC is attained in a very uniformed manner. And if I might just mention two, maybe Linda Mama, for people that work in the hospital know what that is, or maybe you've heard about it. And then we have a Linda Mama, where now any other mother who is expecting a child and doesn't have any form of insurance, NHF will pay for their bills 100%. And then we have the Eduafia. The Eduafia now is where now we cover the high school students. From Form 1 to Form 4, they are covered 100%, and they are covered more than the national scheme. In fact, they are covered more than the teachers are covered. That is the truth. And then number three, you've heard of something called Inua Jamii. You have heard of something about 70 plus. NHF brought in the idea for the government that any person that is getting that cash of 70 plus, that person should be paid for NHIF. Because you're giving them 4,000 per month, that 4,000, they are all spending it in other things, only to realize that these are the people that needs medication the most. So we came up with a strategy and we advised the government, why can't you just cover these people? But politics came in, let's not go there. They are not covered until today.
Yeah.
But your question now, in terms of restructuring the internal issues, when you hear restructuring, a lot goes in a company. But restructuring that is going to affect the common man, I have seen some coming out in the media. I even have them somewhere, like in the nation. The restructuring coming in, I don't want to speak about them now because one, I'm not even anywhere close to management. I am not anywhere close. KP,
Don't shoot
you
yourself.
mentioned...
Don't shoot yourself on the foot. Come on now. We still need
David, you're one hell of an intelligent guy, man. And I think you are somewhere there in the restructuring guide.
I appreciate, and true it is, and I appreciate, my mother Julie will tell you that, but truth be told, I am not close to anywhere to management. That is the truth. I hope that is settled. But again, just like you're saying, some of the concepts that we do from where we sit and where we see things and the people we talk to sometimes, they get the light of the day. Those are two different things. So the current happenings in terms of restructuring are more so internal. So the external part of it that is going to affect us is on the packages. And on the packages, we have sat down and we have seen, for example, CT scan, there are some facilities that used, like Mombasa Hospital, Coast General, used to do CT scan with 5,000. 5. Yes. And then all of a sudden, we just came on board and gave everybody a flat rate of 8,000, addition of 3,000. So when now things are, the rubber is meeting the road because of the concept of sustainability is now coming home and coming home. The concept of sustainability. Now you want to ask yourself, this thing we started, we cannot sustain it. Reasons? Because of cost, because of the number of people that are demanding it. So what do? Do we review? Now, for example, if we review the CT scan and MRI, let's assume we put the CT scan from 8 to 6 and MRI from 15 to 10. What happens? This is what will happen. All government facilities should not fail us. At least Kisumu should have an MRI working. Yeah. That's the Russia hospital. At least in Siaya, the CT scan should be working. Because it's very rare for you to call for a CT scan and MRI at the same time.
That's true.
Right? So the point here is the government towards achieving the UHC, infrastructure must be in place. Personnel must be in place. The instruments must be in place, and then medication. To fix instruments, equipment, personnel, and then drugs, UHC will be home and dry. It cannot only be NHIF, and when you go to the hospital, unapewa aspirin. It will not be UHC. So your question of where, for you guys, you'll feel the pinch, whether you'll smile or it will be sudden, I don't think there will be sadness. Because when we pull it down to 10K, we will present it to them. Nani anataka kuenda hospitali? Si ni mgonjwa. Ni mgonjwa. Si akienda hospitali nani anataka kulipa bill? Si ni NHIF. And now, here you have a scenario of 100 people want to do CT scan at 10,000. And we are telling you we are ready to pay 10,000. And then wewe uko Aga Khan and you're saying only 25,000. That is what you want. That is what we must give you. And we are telling you, if you're not taking 10,000, then we cannot pay more than that. So where will people go? People will go for the 10,000 NHF will pay, and you will remain not doing business. So we will analyze everything from our side and then present it to the public, and it will work. It will work.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know we've taken a lot of your time, David, and we appreciate you. I'm sure everyone in here, even though they are hiding their faces, they appreciate all the knowledge that you've given to us. Again, we'll let him go now. I know you guys, if you had any more questions, you can go ahead and send it to us, and then we can go ahead and set up another call if you we'll have the privilege to have you again. I mean, like you said again, I keep saying it again. You say for people to know this, we have to spread the awareness. So we need to spread this NHF awareness too, NHIF, so that people can know and have a vast knowledge of making decisions of what to do with their health.
Okay. Okay.
On that note, I'll thank you again. Thank Julie for having you here, and I'll let you go rest while we table some Sclad matter before people go sleep. And I upgraded the Zoom now, so that's why the call hasn't dropped again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, David. Have a wonderful night.
All right. Thank you, team. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you people. It was really a great honor. I didn't know I would do this much today, but your support has been great. The questions that have come forth, they were lively and they touched both our lives and our future, and it was for all our good. Sometimes my mother knows my personality, so sometimes I don't know how to hide things or camouflage. I say the things the way they are. But at the end of the day, so that when you ask me again, I will say the same thing I said, however much it hurts. So I'm very grateful. If you're not part of NHIF team, please find it in your heart to join. It's as simple as dialing *155# star as shared there, and you can pick in option 1 to register. If you're changing a facility, please go ahead and do pick option 3. And with that, asanteni sana. I am sharpened. I know I'm better today because I have done what I love doing most.
And we're not kicking you out. You can stay in our meeting and listen to our table, but you're also free to go. But you can stay in as well.
The timing was kind of late, so for today, allow me to out.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, you heard it from the man. Again, Julie, we appreciate you for giving us this connection. Anyone who's watching this is the kind of thing that we can benefit from, all of us. Don't keep this kind of people to yourself. If you have anyone that can be able to come in and help the warriors, please just let us know. We'll set up the meeting and then we'll be able to all benefit. Even you will benefit more because of somebody ask a question that you don't know about and you'll be able to get the information. So please, guys, don't keep it to yourself. Let us be selfless and work as a team. We always say, Sclad, we are here as a team. Let us do this. Again, thank you so much, Julie. And looking forward to have more of these talks, because not all the time Mickey will be able to arrange it, or we are over here. We may not always be able to arrange for somebody to speak to us to get this kind of good stuff. So it's up to you as well to be able to take initiative to yourself and call somebody. It can be anyone. It can be any topic. It can be nothing to do with lupus, but it's something that somebody can benefit. You see, there's certain questions that are being asked that is not a matter of lupus, but we have family, we have relatives, we have children, we have husbands, we have people who are not lupus related, but when they're here on this Zoom call, we all benefit one way or another. So again, we appreciate you all that joined. We haven't finished our meeting. The main purpose of the meeting, again, like Mickey had mentioned, is to introduce what Sclad was. We just have a few things that we are planning to do. We'd like to share with you. I will be calling you, Mickey, every so often to expand on the few things that we are talking about. First of all, you've seen that we have the database that we are collecting. Again, I'll let Mickey explain that a little bit more, but we have the database that we are collecting in regards to doctors, the Sclad warriors, the Sclad supporters, and we are also collecting any links that we may have, like that link that he just shared with us. We're going to put it on there because somebody tomorrow is going to ask, and we don't want to keep asking in the group. So if somebody asks in the group, we can quickly just go check, is it there, pop, put it on. Mickey, to you.
Oh, great. Kindly, guys, don't leave. We won't promise we won't take much of your time. I know people are tired. Maybe people like to wake up early in the morning for church. So it will take us the little time that we've left to explain just everything that you want to talk about. So yes, about the database, as I had probably explained earlier in the group chats. So you'll find, even this is a question that I've also been asked with some of the doctors that we go to, and we tell them, you know what, this and this is what we want you guys to do for us. And they're like, okay, how many people are you in the group? And we're like, well, you know, so this also happened to us the last time we had presented a petition to the Senate, and we had a sitting with them, and they were like, okay, how many people are you? You know, and people were like, so the question, I mean, the answer that was given is like, I mean, in the WhatsApp group or something, you know, but they were like, not in the WhatsApp group. Like, we just want a database of how many warriors, you know, how many warriors do you people have, you know, because it's more than just in a support group. So basically, that really challenged us, and that was the reason that we had to come up with a database. By this, I mean the warriors that we have, probably the medication, the doctors that they see, the various specialists that these people see, the type of medications that they are taking. And also, it's also important to know the geographical area so that you can be able to know, okay, like for example, in Kisumu, how many people, I think KP had also raised that issue, like, can we be having these clusters, like, can we know how many warriors are there in Kisumu? How many warriors are there in Mombasa, in this particular region? So that even when it comes to even buying those medication, we'll be saying, okay, now this batch is going to the people of Mombasa, so, and we'll be knowing how many people in Mombasa are we going to be giving this medication. So that will help us when it comes to executing some of the things that we are planning to do, you know, and also when it comes to organizing for, let's say, some seminars or even events or something, you know, like Nairobi people don't have to go all the way to Mombasa, you know, like we have, they also don't have to go all the way to Bondo. Like, we can be organizing depending on which rheumatologist or which doctor is near these particular places. We can be talking to them and we're like, okay, you know what, we are organizing for, let's say, for example, a physical. We're just hoping that things are going to open up, and we're like, we're organizing for this particular talk, and we would like you to be part of it, you know. So we send them to Bondo, and because they're near there, people from Bondo or people from Kisumu, they can all be gathering at one place instead of them coming all the way to Nairobi, you know. So this one will be even easy for them. So when you ask for, let's know where probably you're coming from and all that, it's for the purpose of all these things, just to make things easier, you know. So the database is basically, it's going to help us do some of those things and even make work even easier, you know. And again, we stop keeping also repeating every now and then, okay, which medication are you taking? Which doctor are you seeing? Blah, 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 and stuff like that. So for us to avoid all that, we'll just be going direct to the database, and we're like, okay, now this warrior is using this particular medication. And also, we'll also be able to know which medication is being used the most by most warriors, you know, so that even when it comes to buying, we'll be knowing which medication are you going to buy in bulk, because there are those long-term medication, and there are those medication that someone has just been told, okay, just use this for 3 months. I don't think it will even be wise to even just buy medication that for someone who has just been told, okay, just use this for the next like 2 months, and then you're going to be withdrawn, you know. So it will be we'll be in a better position to know which medication people are using. So we'll just be going straight to the database. We see this warrior is from this particular area, or this warrior is using this and this medication and stuff like that, so that we are able to even reach out to them, and to reach out to them for the purpose of medication distribution. So this database, it is important, not just for Sclad, but for the warriors, because as I told you when we started, it's not just a 2-man show or a 1-man show, or, you know, it involves all of us. It involves each and every one of us. So your participation will play a big role and a huge role in this. So the database basically is for that. And as Carol has said, as I've just seen in the Telegram group, someone asking which hospital is best for lupus, you know. So this database, because you have information for the doctors, will be in a position to know if we know this person is from this particular area, will be in a better position to even refer them, okay, like go to this particular doctor, because we already have their information, you know, like they don't have to come all the way to Nairobi, they don't have to go all the way to Kisumu, because we have all this data. This will be able to refer this person to this doctor and so on and so forth. So this whole thing, this whole data thing, as much as we keep on repeating, please help us with your information, it is so important, and it will help us even make strides in future. It will help us even reach out to people that we are, that you want to even support us. Because if maybe some of you, or maybe you don't know, Sclad doesn't have a donor right now, doesn't have any funds coming in. So it is our, it is our hope and our prayer that even as we reach out to those people, we know there's some information they're going to require from us, as far as how many people are we, you know, because we have like 257 people, but not all of them are warriors. A bigger chunk of them are warriors, but we would like to know how many warriors are there and how many supporters are we dealing with, you know. So that will help us actually when it comes to now our future plans and what we want to do in later days, you know, because Mickey might not be there in future, Carol might not be there, Anne might not be there. Okay, I don't say that we're going to die, but we want Sclad to remain, you know. You're not dying, that's not what I mean. But we want Sclad to remain even when Mickey is not there, even when Carol is not there. So this one is going to help us even for the people who are going to come after us.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
That is, yeah. So that's all about the database.
Thank you. So for that, thank you guys for the ones who've already given us the information. We've already started building it, and as you can see, I'm sharing it. Somebody asked, there's no names to it, just because of privacy. I don't want to share people's names, because maybe somebody doesn't want everyone to know what sort of condition they have. Even when you go see the doctor, it's doctor's confidentiality, they say. So unless you want, say somebody said, hey, I see somebody is in Kisumu there, who else is in Kisumu? Then we can link you up, and then you guys can, chitty chat. We'll ask, hey, Jane, do you want Beatrice to get your number? She's in Kisumu. Yes, okay, we do that. So it's not a matter of we are hiding it from you. It's just a matter of confidentiality and respecting each person, because some of them send us messages on the site. They chose not to send it in the group for one reason or another. I don't know. Mickey doesn't know, but because of confidentiality. Okay. So we thank you, the ones who've already given us information. Please carry on and sending it to us, either on the side or on the group, whichever is comfortable for you. Okay. So far, what Mickey has said, I have a note here, comment on Sclad and what Sclad has done so far. Like you've seen, Mickey always posts medication, and for the most part, he's already put into the database the current medication that he has, and what we are distributing and to whom. Now, we also have a list of medication that people require that Mickey is not having in stock. So if you can also send us that information, what medication is it that you take? And then we want to see what are the regular medication that people are taking. So even if we want to go and buy some bulk, we can choose which ones we can first go and take, and then we can distribute. Because again, like Mickey said, we're just working on minimal funds, but we want to try and help as much people as possible. So if the list that Mickey posts and he doesn't have the medication that you need, please just let him know still, so that we have another sheet that we can put in the requests from the warriors. Yeah, and then that is to you guys. So you have to tell us, how can we improve stuff? We want to regularly have these meetings. This meeting is for all the warriors and the supporters. So we regularly want to have this at least once a month. We don't want to kill you with having every week or every 2 weeks, but at least once a month. So it's like a monthly meeting or something for all the warriors. So if you have anything you want to come and talk, again, it's your meeting, it's our meeting. It's not us presenting today. We're just doing something for you guys, but it's for you guys. We can just start the meeting, we sit back, relax, and you guys talk, chitty chat, talk about chai, the way, what's his name? Jebet keeps finishing the milk and Anne and all that. We talk verbally instead of just always texting. What is expected from Sclad, because there's certain expectations that people have of this group that we like to clarify. And I give it again. Anne is not here, so I'll give it again to you, Mickey. I apologize. Go ahead and clarify. I think you have actually from the top. You already said what Sclad is all about, right? But there's certain expectations that people have in regards to Sclad, and some little bit of entitlement that right now there's no capacity of Sclad to be able to deliver certain things. And when we cannot deliver, it's not because we don't want to or because we did it for this one and not that one. It's sometimes the funds are limited. We get cases every week. We get 2 people, sometimes 3 people, cases of people that needs to go to see a rheumatologist. You know, everyone knows how much a rheumatologist costs. So we get cases that we have to go take to a rheumatologist. We have to get blood work done. We have to provide medication. And that comes, and then somebody comes with something that is not as urgent, let me say urgent, as this particular one. So we have to deal with this urgent case first, then we'll come to you. Not that we are tunakupuuza. Is that right way to say? We are going to do it, but please give us a minute, give us the time. Yeah, and just clarify your situation so that we see the urgency of the matter. We can only do so much. We are working towards structure, like what Mickey said. We are trying to get a structure together. Once we get a structure together, hata tukiendea mtu tumwelezee ndio hivi sasa tumefika hapa, atatushika mkono kisha atatupeleka to the next step. And we can only do this as a group, as a team. We can only do this if we work together. So that's what I wanted to talk about, the expectations. How can you assist Sclad? You can assist Sclad, like I just mentioned earlier. If you have people that wants to talk, if you are even you, if you want to talk and share your experience, we can have it for you. Give you a couple of minutes. You talk about yourself, talk about your experiences. We learn a lot from each other. Anne talks about herself 24/7 on social media, you know, and many people learn from that. We are spreading awareness. We are talking about lupus. We're talking about scleroderma. We're talking about Raynaud's. We're talking about rheumatoid arthritis. Somebody just asked me a question yesterday about me taking. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm on what type of contraception am I on? Because she asked before in the group and nobody answered. So I know sometimes we miss people's question, and when we miss people's question, it's not that we are ignoring you. Sometimes you wake up, you guys know, sometimes you write 200 messages, 500 messages. So we are not ignoring you. Please ask again. And if you see in the group is not being asked, ask us on the side, because sometimes it's too much. And if you text it on the side, we can be able to see and respond accordingly. So again, just wanted to reiterate, we're not ignoring anyone's text messages, and don't be upset. You know, we can only do so much. And if I told you you don't get an answer, you need fingers on the side, and we'll be able to help you with that. Okay, that said, upcoming plans. What are our upcoming plans? We have a few things we are planning. We haven't put a date to it. I'll let Mickey say a few, and if you miss any, I'll top it up. He already mentioned about having meetings in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu. So we want to try and do that. Anne and I will be coming to Kenya, hopefully December, and we want to set up meetings for Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and if anywhere else you guys want us to come, we can have tea, we can have lunch, whatever, and meet up face to face. Please let us know. Besides that, we have more plans coming. Mickey?
Well, yeah, okay, so for the first plan we had, I think also it was, you guys had mentioned it on on Facebook. We have something that we're calling Sip and Paint, whereby we're looking at an event whereby people can come. I mean, it's just direct, like sip and paint, like sipping something. It might be juice, might be wine, might be coffee and all that. And then you're just painting, you know, and by painting, people will be doing different stuff. And in the course of, in the course of this, there will be some talks that will be going on. We're looking forward to invite some doctors, specialists who will come. As much as it's a time to have fun, we also want it to also be educative, you know, because there are going to be people who will come, not only warriors or supporters, but people who this will be their first time to hear about lupus or about scleroderma or about whichever other autoimmune disease. It will be their first time. So we saw it best to incorporate even doctors to just come and enlighten people for those who will be the first time to hear about this. And at the end of it, at the end of the day, as much as people are going to have fun, people will also get out of that place with a transformed mind, because many a times, as you are aware, warriors get judged. Warriors get they get judged. We want to get rid of all this stigma that is going on, and for us to get rid of all that, as Carol had said when during the has kept on saying during the NHIF talk, it's all about awareness. We just have to keep on talking about it. So basically, this is the idea behind Sip and Paint. And it's not just, there'll also be some music, good music.
DJ and everything.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be some good music. So you'll just have this moment where, out of the usual, out of the normal talks of, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that, it's just something out of the norm, out of the norms, getting to interact with other people who are going through the same thing, getting to do some things that you are maybe not used to do in your daily routine, So we just want to make it as fun as possible and also as educative as possible. So that's about the Sip and Paint event that is coming up. So if at all, maybe you might be having an idea, since I've already painted, Sip and Paint, I've painted something in minds. Then you can share with us something that you think maybe, by the way, you guys, if you incorporate this on this event, then it might bring more life to it, It is it is welcome, and also feel part and parcel of this. We want you guys to feel part and parcel of Sclad and part of and parcel of the event that you are planning. Yeah. So you're most welcome. Side chat, Carol, side chat me, side chat Anne, and we just see how to go about it.
Yeah, we can set up a separate group so that whoever wants to volunteer, you can volunteer. If you have a celebrity that can come and enlighten us with their time, you can let us know, invite them. If you have somebody you can volunteer, paintbrush, paint, bottles of wine, soda, water, anything. You can let us know, because every little helps. Even if you're there, every little helps. Again, another idea was fashion show that came up when I keep seeing beautiful, beautiful faces over here. So if we have a fashion show for lupus, we can set up a day, we do fashion show for lupus. So we all come dolled up, both male and female, KP, yeah? Both male and female. You dress up, doll yourself up, and we walk, we just have fun. And that's an event. And that event, we can also have many people coming, and we can even get donations. I don't know what will come out of it, but I know for sure we're going to have media. We already have contact with the media. Sheila Monyeka, if everyone knows her, she's gonna come. The lady from Tuko, what's her name? She may come. Yeah, what's her name again? Anne Gugi, Lynn Gugi. Yeah, she's in contact with Anne and many more. So I'm just stealing some of the the people that would come. So it's yours, it's ours. Own it. Don't feel as if we are arranging. We are not organizing. We just handing it out so that all of us can be a part of it. If anyone has any other ideas that we can do, we plan to visit schools, we plan to visit churches, we talk about lupus. You never know the outcome. As long as we talk about it, is spreading awareness, the outcome may be fruitful for Sclad itself and for you as an individual. About Sclad, the merchandise, please help spread the merchandise. All of you have social media. Go ahead and post. When we post this stuff, go ahead and share with your friends. Somebody may want a hoodie, a t-shirt. Again, 100% of the profits go to buying medication for the same warriors, taking them to the hospital. So help us share this merchandise that we have, that Mickey always posts. We post as well, but then just share, because we put it on our group chat. We put it on what is it called? Facebook. We put it on Instagram. Go ahead and share, download it, send it to people, put it as your profile. Help us sell the merchandise so that we can get more medication and treatment for our warriors. Add us to your Facebook and your Instagram. Everything we share, even what you share, what is it called? Tag us. So tag us your story. If you go live, tag us your story so that other people can also see and hear. I think that is it that we have, unless anyone wants to tell us anything else. Again, it's open. Unmute yourself, everyone. Unmute yourself. Let's talk. We have another like 10 minutes and then we can end the meeting. I know everyone is sleepy. But if you want to talk, say something. Come on now.
Now, I want to say something. First, I start from like the database. It's so much important. Any organization must have a database, because the database is Sclad at a glance. Sometimes you only need Mickey to go somewhere and then someone will ask questions, but then the database will speak on. It doesn't need to explain a lot of things. So I'll urge like more people like to help out in having that database. Like it has to have very quality data. Already you're putting up the database, like the names, the locations, and which type of like the autoimmune they have, and then even the doctors they're seeing on the medication. It's very much important, because I'm seeing like in the things you're planning, the events, we'll have even the pharmaceuticals. Someone might want like, okay, we are manufacturing this kind of medicine, or we are getting it from India or China or somewhere, but then we want to partner with you. So the quantity of that amount of medication that they want to give us will be determined by what they get from the database. And that's why I wanted like to share with Mickey and Chinese. Like it's very much important, like for the things, these things we are planning. As much as you're going to create funds so that you bring people, but you must also see, like look the broader way. Like how much or what kind of people are we going to invite? Yes, the meal is there, this entertainment, maybe I'll have a soda water or something. But then at the end of the day, what's the main objective of it? Creating awareness, tick, it's there. Entertainment, tick. But then the partners that you're going to invite in these events, how are they going to help us? Because after the events, we have to be like 3 notches or maybe 5 notches higher than what we were before. So planning is very critical, but then the database is very, very much important. I've worked in some organizations, and the first thing they create is a very big database. The database shows you're aware of what you want to do. Then you can meet your objectives from your database, because already it's like you've done research. But if you present yourself anywhere, like you want support, I want to bargain for this medication, or I want you to partner with us or support us with this medication, but then you don't have a database, then you look clueless. They'll ask you some things and then you won't be able to answer them. You look clueless. Then also in these events that we're doing, more importantly, apart from creating awareness, I was also of opinion like, one, there are a lot of NGOs in Kenya, but you know, an NGO comes through the government. You can create something very nice, but if you don't have the government's blessings, oh, it won't work. Like I've seen a lot of some NGOs came in Kenya, but in the past I worked with some of them, but they had loggerheads to the government or something, but then didn't work. So when we want to do these events, let's also pull the government on board. Like I was talking the other time about the TB, the HIV and AIDS. Those things, just like Sclad, started from guys, like warriors, like mobilizers, like support teams. Currently, the government is saying, we have the TB clinic, we are providing the TB medication this way and this way. They're owning it up, but it was not their idea. So we have to bring the government as much as possible on board. And we have to make them, we have to compel them to sit with us in the table and see how like we can create this awareness, see how we can achieve this medication. So I'll urge Mickey. I know Mickey has taken like the petition to the Senate and maybe the normal house. I also like you, like since the events are scheduled for around December, it's the right time to start following up on some of this, the government, the medical department, and these other things. Just start making them aware aware of what we guys are planning, because there'll be more blessing of the government, and the government also opens tentacles. Just like I can't come, I have to have the blessing of your compound before I can erect even maybe a kiosk in front of your compound to do anything. So they should be able to help us, and they'll facilitate a lot of things to help us. And then, I don't know how many people are listening to this now, but if you are 256 people in the group, we all don't have, maybe we don't have funds, but there's a way how each can chip in any way to help the upcoming events, to help on how we can get the medication, you know. And I hope, Mick, you have my t-shirt on 10th, I want it. Mapema, I want to wear it on 10th. So we should also see like, how are we warriors and supporters helping in any way into this? And also us, when you used to do events like for AMREF and for Impact or Nyanza Reproductive Health, they used to say, we pia kuja na mtu wako. Come with also your organization. 256 guys of us. It's just like you're going to the wedding. You don't have anything but ubeba mapera yako or an orange. I've also brought this. So we pia tag along something. We Luos, when we go to like to the burials or something, we call it we solo. You go, I talk to Mickey, I want to go to my mother-in-law's burial. So will you come with me? That one is asking you directly. Like, coming with me means, will you chip in, like give me like 2K so that we work together? I've got to go and buy something there. So let's like be aggressive in this. Yeah. Otherwise, creating awareness is plus the events you people are creating, the database. I just love every bit of that. And Caro, if you're putting it like we should have this one, like this kind of course and this kind of talk, it's very much informative. Once a month is like limiting a lot of things. Maybe we can have it quarterly or maybe weekly for people who want, but for organizing the event, it should be like weekly, so that, you know, we have reached here, I talk to this person, I can jibu and make follow-up on this, on this, on this. So eventually in December, the event is just credible and things just fall in place because of earlier planning and follow-ups and just having it strategically planned. Otherwise, that's what I can say, but I'm happy to join you guys. And thanks for someone for making me able to join you guys.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, whoever is interested in any of the organizations, so that we don't have 256 people and only 2 are talking, just let us know. We'll start a side group, and then, you know, we can be able to, like KP saying, meet more often. But for the whole group, I don't want just to do too much, unless if you have somebody who wants to speak, and we just had like this one, we had this today, somebody wants to speak to us, even tomorrow, I will set up the call. We'll set up the call and we'll meet and we hear what the person has to say. So anytime you have somebody, we don't have to wait until we set up a meeting. Anytime you have somebody that can speak on any topic, let us know. We'll set up the meeting for you, and then we can host it for you accordingly. So anytime we can hold it, but this one is just the way it's a general annual meeting. This one is general monthly meeting, but feel free. Anyone else has anything to say? Evelyn, thank you so much for interacting and your questions to our guests. We appreciate you as well. Everyone else who are joined, we appreciate you too. I mean, the crowd, I'm sure you got some good juice out of that call. If there's nothing else, anyone else has anything to say? Okay, Bridget, thank you so much. You want to say something? Please, she raised her hand. Bridget, you can unmute yourself if you wanted to say something. I saw you raised your hand.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can't switch on my video because I'm in darkness. I had already
slept,
preparing myself. It's sad we were about 21, 22 of us, but I really want us to remind each other to do our checkups and not always think that we can pop up with prescriptions or request for drugs to routinely take drugs without being reviewed. I have noticed a number of us who do not or rarely go to see their doctor or rarely get reviewed but always take medication. There's a downside of that because you're not being monitored. Your system is I mean, no one knows if your system is taking the medication or not. That's why some of us will be able to monitor what medication we take, how often we take it, and not go with the whim of the group. I think this is, maybe this is something we need to keep emphasizing to colleagues every now and then. We have a part of us that are very convinced that we need to be always keeping our appointments. I would rather support you to get an appointment to be reviewed by your doctor than support you to get a host of medication that I'm not even sure if you qualify for or not. I have on occasions, I won't mention the person, they are here and they know what I mean, told the person that, yes, I would have loved to support. Shine has allowed me to use you as the name figuratively for this example. I would love to support Shines, but for the fact that she has refused to go for reviews, I'm sorry. I will not, because I am not helping that person. So us getting reviews, us getting up to date with ourselves on our conditions. The other thing for me, which is becoming a very big concern, it is okay for those of us who feel they have changed medication, changed approach to care, changed from doing modern medicine or conventional medicine for that matter. But we will need to revisit, which was very active like a few months back, to allow us to make independent choices and not influenced choices when it comes to use of what medication. In this regard, I'm talking about herbal medication, I'm talking about alternative medication, I'm talking about those of us who sometimes go off medication because so-and-so is off medication, because so-and-so is using rituximab, because so-and-so is using this and this. So we need to start this, do you call it awareness at some point, because we are losing some people among us because of this kind of, I'm sorry if the word ignorance is wrong, but we have also a lot of peer pressure, peer influence, because all of us get different advices, but we forget that these advices need to be individualized. But other than that, kudos for this evening. I have a lot of issues with what the NHIF person presented. Unfortunately, not so much for us to take home because nobody has thought about us as yet. He seemed so green when he was talking about even the conditions, even what needs to be covered, what can or cannot be and how. So I think we still need to search a little bit more. We need to have a lot of member education on people to be aware, because unfortunately, as we may have noticed, other than NHIF going up, it is going down. And the sufferers are we who are on chronic monthly care, chronic outpatient care, which is very limited and the money gets exhausted. Some of us even use up to 200,000 a month. And if that goes to outpatient, then our covers exhaust. So we still have quite a lot of work to do, but it was a nice session. Thanks to Julie. Was it Julie?
Yes.
Thanks to her for organizing that. And thanks to the initiative to keep longer than 30 minutes. I know that's a sacrifice from your end, but thanks for that. And maybe what we could do, because some of us are not night runners, we could make these sessions a little earlier so that people can stay longer. Thanks. Good night.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you. And I just want to comment about the times, because we just set the time. For us, you see, it's daytime for us here. But we put in a request. Mickey's asked a couple of times. I think Anne asked as well. I asked, what time? Do you know how many people responded to that? 257 people in the group. I think only 4 responded. So we just went with the ones that say 2. 2 people said 8, and we did 8. So if we ask, it's not our time, because I can do any time, but it's because it's for you guys. So and maybe Bridget, you also put in the time. I don't remember who, but I think it was just 4 or 5 people that suggested the time, and a few just raised their hand but never actually said the time. So if more people participate, and we can have a better time for everyone, or for the majority, to be able to be, more fair on people. But we need people to talk. I mean, like in the Telegram, I asked something. It's only 2 people that talk in the Telegram. Like, why? We're here. We're just not here to just look. We're here to talk to each other, support each other. Same as the WhatsApp. Some people actually clearly said, don't take us out. We were not taking anyone out at that time. They don't take us out because I hear and I listen and I get a lot from listening. Yeah, but once in a while, just say, hey, Nico. Just that. So other than that, if anyone else doesn't have anyone else before we close, Vicky, you want to say something? I'm finished. Once Mickey finishes, then I can close the Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually have anything to say, but just to thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time, for everything, for the vision. It means so much. And
yes.
as on end, I think it's a goal achieved by tagging someone who needed to shed some light on some queries or some worries that you people had. And I know even if not all things were addressed, I know a bigger chunk of it was addressed, and maybe the burden has been a little lighter as far as maybe your questions and your worries are concerned. And we're grateful. I thank you so much for even responding to the call. I mean, it means we are so grateful. Thank you so much. So we extend the conversation in the chat group. May God bless. And for those who are in the States like us, good day.
Thank you. I will share the recording, but it will be in 2 parts, because the first one, when it finished, it stopped, and then this second part. So I'll share the recording in 2 parts. I'll put version 1 or part 1 and then part 2, if you're going to listen or share with anyone else.
Okay, thanks so much. Next time,
all right.
A bit early,
yeah,
so that we don't late until like today. But thank you so much.
So next time we do 6 o'clock. Whoever comes in, comes in. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.